The paradox of Jean-Jacques Rousseau, when philosophy and personal life collide. In the annals of philosophical history, few contradictions stand out as starkly as that of Jean-Jacques Rousseau, the 18th century philosopher whose groundbreaking theories on education and child development stand in dramatic contrast to his personal choices as a father. As we delve into this fascinating paradox, we uncover a story that challenges our understanding of human nature and the complex relationship between intellectual ideals and personal actions. Rousseau's educational philosophy, detailed extensively in his seminal work, Émile, or On Education, revolutionized how we think about childhood development and education. He championed a radical approach for his time. Children should be allowed to develop naturally, free from the corrupting influences of society. His vision painted a picture of education that emphasized experiential learning, emotional development, and the nurturing of a child's innate curiosity. The philosopher advocated passionately for individualized attention, arguing that education should be tailored to each child's unique needs and developmental pace. He believed in the importance of allowing children to learn through direct experience rather than rigid instruction, promoting what we might today call hands-on learning. His theories laid the groundwork for many modern educational approaches and continue to influence pedagogical thinking. Yet behind these enlightened ideas lay a troubling personal narrative. Rousseau, together with his partner Thérèse Levasseur, had 5 children, all of whom he abandoned to foundling hospitals shortly after their births. These institutions, notorious for their high mortality rates, offered little hope for the survival of the children placed in their care. The stark contrast between Rousseau's philosophical ideals and his personal actions raises profound questions. How could a man who wrote so eloquently about the importance of nurturing childhood development abandon his own offspring to such uncertain fates? The answer lies in a complex web of personal justifications and societal circumstances. The philosopher attempted to justify his actions through various arguments. He claimed financial inadequacy, suggesting he couldn't provide proper care for his children. He expressed feelings of being ill-equipped for fatherhood and argued that his children would be better served in institutional care. Perhaps most poignantly, he cited his desire to protect them from the social stigma of illegitimacy, a burden he himself had experienced. These justifications, however, ring hollow when considered against his rising fame and connections in French society. As his reputation grew, so did his potential resources and support network, yet his practice of abandonment continued unchanged. To understand Rousseau's actions fully, we must consider the social context of 18th century France. Child abandonment, while not celebrated, was not uncommon, particularly among the urban poor. Foundling hospitals were established institutions, albeit troubled ones, and represented a socially accepted solution to unwanted pregnancies and financial hardship. However, Rousseau's status as a leading intellectual and his specific teachings on childhood development make his choices particularly problematic. His actions weren't merely inconsistent with modern values, they directly contradicted his own stated principles. This paradox raises fundamental questions about the relationship between philosophical thought and personal conduct. Can we separate the validity of ideas from the actions of their originator? Should we? Rousseau's case suggests that even the most profound understanding of moral and educational principles doesn't necessarily translate into corresponding personal behavior. Today, Rousseau's paradox serves as a powerful reminder of human complexity. It challenges us to consider how we evaluate historical figures and their contributions. While his personal failures are undeniable, his philosophical insights continue to influence educational theory and practice. The gap between Rousseau's ideals and actions also prompts us to examine our own lives. How often do our actions align with our stated beliefs? What obstacles prevent us from living up to our highest principles? The story of Jean-Jacques Rousseau's paradox is more than a historical curiosity. It's a profound meditation on human nature. It reminds us that even the most enlightened thinkers can fail to embody their ideals, and that the relationship between theoretical understanding and practical application is far from straightforward. As we continue to grapple with questions of education, parenting, and moral philosophy, Rousseau's paradox offers valuable insights. It teaches us that while we should strive for consistency between our beliefs and actions, we must also acknowledge the complexity of human nature and the challenges of living up to our highest ideals. In the end, perhaps Rousseau's greatest contribution lies not just in his philosophical insights, but in the very human story of his failures. His paradox continues to provoke discussion and reflection, challenging us to consider the eternal struggle between what we know to be right and our capacity to act accordingly. What's your take? Do you admire Rousseau's passionate calls for natural parenting while he abandoned his 5 children at orphanages, or his ideals of authentic living while depending on wealthy patrons? Share your thoughts below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Philosopher's Keystone for more thought-provoking content and reveals about history's great thinkers.